UFC 320 is this weekend, one of the best cards of the year. Highly anticipated rematch and a crazy co-main event. That's not even mentioning the featured fight, which is literally a dream fight. Two agents of chaos throwing bones at each other. Last week, I actually didn't do too bad. I only got 2 or 3 fights wrong, I believe. One of them being the main event, obviously, which I really just picked Dom because I couldn't bring myself to pick Allberg. But regardless, I'm going to go through this card, pick all the winners, and tell you why I'm picking them. Without further ado, Ankalaev versus Pereira. This is a very close fight. It was close the first time. Everyone says domination. There's this problem in the community where if a fight's close or just anyone wins by decision, it automatically is a domination. People just completely forget what happened in the first fight, when in reality, the first fight was good. Alex arguably won rounds 1, 3, and 5. So close fight. It's not the one-sided beatdown that everyone claims it to be. And Alex actually had some good moments in there where he was tagging up Mag. But obviously Magomed tagged Alex a lot too. And Alex didn't seem himself. I think we all know that. Magomed Ankalaev was much more focused going into the fight, not going out partying like Alex was. And it showed in the fight. He was just faster, better reactions, more aggressive, pushed the pace. And despite not even getting takedowns, he was still able to win just via pressure. And his striking is actually very good for what it is. A very simple striking style, but ultra effective. And I just think Alex wasn't fully there. He's going all over, messing around with Nina Drama. Good riddance. She's gone finally. I made a YouTube video about that. That's probably why she got removed. At least that's what I like to imagine. But no, Alex, dude, flying all over the countries, flying all over the world, different time zones, constantly adjusting, not training, not in his home gym. Well, he was training, just not locked in. This fight is different. He's very locked in this fight. I've seen the countdown. I've seen the social media. He's not flying all over. He's staying in one spot. And he's preparing for war. Like, this is everything. He wants this. He's hungry for this. He wasn't as hungry during the first fight. And then Magomed Ankalaev, I think he'll be better too. He's not going to be fasting like he was the first time. And now he has the championship belt, which gives him more confidence. Not to mention, Alex Pereira is going to be older. So none of these factors are helping out Alex, other than the fact that he's more locked in. So I guess the question is, who's going to improve more? And to be honest, as much as I hate to say it, I think Ankalaev is going to win. I think he's going to make the improvements necessary. I think he's going to wrestle even heavier and actually get some takedowns this time. And Pereira, he's looked very, very aggressive in his training. So either he could get a knockout or he's going to get chinned, similar to how he did against Izzy in that second fight. So Magomed Ankalaev, those Russians, dude, they don't leave the camp. They go to train and they stay there. Alex's most locked-in camp looks like a normal Dagestani camp. And he's not going to be fasting this time. He's going to have the age advantage, added confidence. He knows he can outstrike Alex. He's not going to respect Alex on the feet, which again could lead him to getting caught. But I think he's going to push way harder than he did the last time. Way more takedown attempts. He's going to throw a lot more. He's going to follow up a lot more with his shots when he does land them. As he said in the UFC countdown, he's going to be more aggressive. And Alex, I think, is just going to be looking for a knockout. I don't know if he's really going to be ready to defend the takedowns. He can defend the takedowns, and we saw it, but I don't know if he'll be ready again this time. Because he did get hurt by Ank in the last fight. So he might be more worrisome of Ank's hands. And if he's worried about the hands, he could get taken down. And then if he gets taken down in the fight, Ankalaev becomes even better in the striking. And we have seen Alex hurt before on the feet. We haven't really seen Ankalaev hurt. His only loss is to Paul Craig. So realistically, Bo Nickal's the light heavyweight champion of the world. He beat Paul Craig. Paul Craig subbed Ank. These guys should be fighting Bo Nickal for the belt. But that's besides the point. It feels as though the only way Alex can win this fight is by catching Ank. And if you're relying on someone to win via catching someone, it's just not a safe pick. Because I do think Alex will be better this fight. I think it's going to be closer than it was last time, where it's either 4-1 or 3-2 for Ank. So, yeah, I am going to go with Ankalaev. I don't think there will be a finish. He's a decision merchant. Don't be surprised if Pereira comes out guns blazing and catches Ank or gets caught. That is a very, very possible scenario. Next, we got Merab versus Corey. This fight is a lot more interesting than people think. This will be on the same level as the Umar fight. Corey Sandhagen, his jiu-jitsu and his ground game is improving at a rapid pace. Obviously, Merab's is too, but let's look at Sandhagen real quick. He just submitted Figgy. He popped his knee out of place. That's Davison Figueiredo, one of the greatest flyweights of all time. Very, very good ground game. He submitted that guy. Corey Sandhagen has been training with Ryan Hall. Again, one of the brightest minds in jiu-jitsu. The Australians train with Craig Jones. Sandhagen trains with Ryan Hall. And it's showing. Like, to do that to Figgy is insane. And not only that, he was looking good on the feet against Figgy too, but the whole fight itself was a wash in one direction. On top of that, Corey Sandhagen has a solid chin. He's bringing more violence back to his arsenal, along with mixing things in. He's longer than Merab. He's a better striker, let's just call it what it is. And his defensive grappling is truly solid. Like, even against Umar, he did pretty well getting back up to his feet. On the feet was where he really lost the fight, actually. Umar was kind of tagging him up. But standing opposite of him, you got Merab Dvalishvili, who, let's just call it what it is, has the craziest cardio in UFC history. And no matter how good you are, how technical you are, eventually you will tire out. And that's what Merab's going to do to Corey. Because I think this could look like the Umar fight. Corey could win the first 1 or 2 rounds, but Merab will start drowning him. His pressure will become overwhelming for Corey, and he's just going to keep shooting. Merab's getting better with his ground game too. Look at him choke out Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley's no slouch on the ground. Like, defensively, he does pretty well. He even does some jiu-jitsu on the side. You know, he beat Takanori Gomi in a jiu-jitsu match. So he is no joke. And for Merab to submit him like that and show further improvement from the first fight and then out-scramble Umar Nurmagomedov is impressive. Let's say, theoretically, Corey's on the feet is just way better. Merab has a chin of granite. Corey will break his fist before he chins Merab. That's how good Merab's chin is. Corey has a good chin too, but Merab doesn't need to rely on a knockout to beat Corey. If this fight goes to a decision, it's likely going to be Merab's fight. Just too fast, too much pressure. The momentum on his side is so strong that it's going to be hard to slow down. I don't think Corey's the one to do it. I really do think Corey is going to make it competitive, and this could be Merab's toughest fight to date. He may even be in trouble in some moments, but I truly do believe Corey could win this fight. I'd give him a better chance than O'Malley, a similar chance to Umar, but he's like number 1 or 2 as far as threats for Merab go. A very hard matchup, but Merab's pace and pressure will do what it has done in every other one of his fights and just overwhelm Corey. Because we were saying the same thing about Jan, same thing about Umar, which was on the ground. They have great defensive grappling, and when Merab can't take him down, he's going to be cooked. But no, that's not the case. Even against Aldo, he couldn't take Aldo down. He still won. It's his pressure, similar to the Ankalaev versus Pereira dynamic. The pressure is a huge thing, and if you keep someone like Corey on the back foot, you're going to give him trouble. Merab will be able to break Corey in this fight. It will be very, very fun, though. And stylistically, this is one of the greatest, highest level fights we've ever seen in the bantamweight division. I honestly can't wait to see it, but I have to go with Merab. Yuri versus Khalil, people's main event. We know this is going to be a banger. Like, hands down, one of the craziest fights you could make in the UFC. A dream fight for many fans. Now, who am I going to go with? I'm going to go with Yuri. I just think Khalil, not only is he like 35, 36, much older than Yuri, but he has less experience. He's not as dynamic. He's not as well-rounded, and I don't think he's as fast. Plus, I think Yuri hits harder. All those things considered, I think it means you got to go with Yuri. Khalil, I don't think that Jamal Hill fight does much for him. Yuri Prochazka could finish Jamal Hill. Khalil could not. Yuri Prochazka hurt Jamal bad. Khalil fought him after and couldn't even do that. He knocked him down, but was Jamal ever really hurt or in danger of being finished? I don't think so. Yuri Prochazka is just too fast. They're both coming off wins over Jamal, but Yuri's had a lot of time to recover. He's huge for this weight class, super athletic, granite chin. I just don't think Khalil will be able to hurt him. Khalil is going to try leg kicks, which will be good. Yuri's not very good at checking leg kicks, so that actually could be a problem. But like I said, Yuri's just going to be too fast. I don't think that within those 3 rounds that Khalil will have enough time to fully affect Yuri with those kicks. And also, Yuri has the better gas tank. I'm just thinking about this fight playing out. It's going to be insane. Dude, Yuri's different. The only person he's ever lost to in the UFC is Alex. Khalil's freaking lost to Dustin Jacoby. And I'm notorious for picking against Khalil and being wrong, but I'm going to do it again. I just think he's just going to be too good. His punches are just going to be too solid. He's going to find the chin, and he's going to put Khalil away. Maybe not a knockout cold, but probably a TKO. Khalil's very tough too, and don't be surprised if he wins, but I just don't see him knocking out Yuri. If Khalil wins, I think it'd be a decision, but even then, I got Yuri all day. Josh Emmett versus Yusuf Zalal. Yusuf Zalal is very hyped up. People are saying he's the next Ilia Topuria. I don't know. I think he'll be able to tag up Josh Emmett, stay out of harm's way for 3 rounds. Because if anyone gets hit by it. Dude, why is Emmett flexing so hard in this picture? But like Josh Emmett, his power is some of the greatest we've ever seen. He has a crazy chin too, so you don't really got to worry about him getting knocked out. Ilia Topuria couldn't finish him in 5 rounds. He low-key might have a better chin than Holloway. No lie. But then the Michael Johnson knockout doesn't look too good. And Jeremy Stevens did kind of... Oh my gosh, that Jeremy Stevens knockout was brutal. But anyways, Yusuf Zalal, he's notorious for running away from Calvin Kattar. Josh Emmett got a robbery win over Calvin Kattar. Who do I think will win? Do I think Yusuf Zalal will be able to tag up Josh Emmett from range and, pit Pat to a win? I'm going to say no. I think Josh Emmett's going to stand on business and give it to Yusuf Zalal pause. I really do. Josh Emmett, he's old, but the one thing that goes last is power, and that's what Josh Emmett's relied on his whole career. And while his technique may not be there, I'm kind of relying on him to catch Yusuf Zalal, though. Like I say, if you're relying on a fighter to catch someone for a win, then you shouldn't be picking him. So actually, I'm going to go with Yusuf Zalal just by boring decision, running away, pitter-pat Josh Emmett. But I would not be surprised, and I would not advise against picking Josh Emmett via knockout, because I think Yusuf Zalal is very overrated. But again, he is a younger fighter, fresher fighter, and Josh Emmett's game plan is pretty simple. So if he can avoid that overhand for 3 rounds, he should be okay. Abus Nurmagomedov versus Joe Pyfer. I'm actually going with Abus. Joe Pyfer, Abus has only lost to Sean Strickland and Kyle Bahalo, 2 very good fighters. Joe Pyfer lost to Jack Hermanson and almost, arguably, should have lost to Kelvin Gastelum those last 2 rounds. That was not a good look, and that was his last fight. Agus Magomedov just destroyed, who was it? Oh, it was Pereira, I guess. I didn't realize Pereira was the last fight. I thought he had a fight in between that. But, yeah, he just beat Pereira. Very good striker. Joe Pyfer is very simple. He does not mix it up. Abus, his gas tank is overhated on it. I just think Abus is going to be way more dynamic. Joe Pyfer is like a Josh Emmett. He just relies on that power, so this is going to look like that fight, I believe. Abus can dance around and hurt him, but Abus is a real good fighter. Underrated. He gassed out against Strickland and people are hating on him, but Joe Pyfer was the one who gassed out against Hermanson. So looking at those 2 performances, that makes me want to go with someone like Abus. But nah, I'm going with Abus. I think Joe Pyfer is just, if you're getting outstruck by Hermanson, bro, it's time to pack up the bags and go. Next we got Gautier versus Ozzy Diaz. Bro, Gautier is a lock. Just pick him. I'm going to keep it simple. Gautier by knockout. Edmund Shabazian versus Andre Muniz. I'm going to go Shabazian by KO. I just think he's just a better striker than Muniz. And Muniz can't do anything on the ground to him. It's just going to be Shabazian masterclass. Chris Gutierrez versus Farid Basharat. This is a classic striker versus grappler. I'm going to go with Farid. Probably win by a boring decision, but he will be able to take down Gutierrez, control him. Gutierrez is getting up there in age too, I believe. Yeah, he's 34 for bantamweight. Farid Basharat's a 28-year-old prospect. I just think his youth, his grappling will win him this fight. Farid Basharat decision is probably a lock. Daniel Santos versus Ju Sang Yu. I'm going to go Daniel Santos. He's very well-rounded. Ju Sang Yu's this is his first fight, I believe, in the UFC. And I'm going to pick the UFC vet, although his arms literally look like T-Rex arms. Yo, what? Why do his arms built like that? Nah, but I'm going to go with Daniel Santos. Just masterclass Ju Sang Yu decision. Gotta go Macy here. Patchy Mix versus Jacob Wichklatch, or however you say it. Patchy Mix is going to beat this guy. Jacob's a good grappler, but so is Patchy. And then on the feet, if Patchy can hurt Mario Bautista at times, he's going to be able to hurt Jacob. You got to go Patchy by this. Actually, I think Patchy's going to win by TKO. I'm going to go Patchy Mix by TKO. He got those jitters out, and he's going to see red. So I'm going to go Patchy. Soriano versus Nicoli. I'm going to go Soriano. He's younger, and he's coming off a 30-second knockout over Euros Medic. Also, just has better grappling as well, so he has better striking, better grappling, younger, easy pick, lock of the year. Ramiz versus Austin. I'm going to go with Austin. I think he'll be able to defend the takedowns and then outstrike Ramiz on the feet. Again, should be a decision. Maybe he'll get a knockout, but his grappling defense should hold up against Ramiz. And on the feet, like I said, he throws higher volume. Outstrike him pretty easily. So toss a couple bones on Austin. And for the people's main event, I'm going to go with Veronica Hardy by 3-round decision. Those are my picks for UFC 320. Let me know what you guys think. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.